There are so many people in Croydon, which in theory makes it an ideal place for busking. Located in the southern outer suburbs of England's capital, Croydon is actually the second most populated borough of London. It sports a nice long pedestrian-only street, which along with its high population, means Croydon offers a great location for setting up your equipment and playing some tunes. Now, I've been tipped off by a few fellow buskers about the scene in Croydon, so I decided I'd go and check it out for myself and review the experience for you watching this video. So whether you're curious because you want to busk in Croydon yourself or you're just interested in general, here's how I got on busking in Croydon. Welcome to Croydon. There are so many people around, I'm trying to vlog. Okay, so welcome to Croydon. This is a London suburb. I've been recommended to come here for a busk. Train here costs £12, so as long as we make that back. To busk in Croydon, it's legal. I'll go through the rules with you now. The rules for busking in Croydon. First things first. To busk in Croydon, you have to fill out a registration of interest form. And this can be found on Croydon Council's website. It takes about 2 minutes to do. It's not that deep. It asks you a bunch of details like your name, address, phone number, email, date of birth, and a description of your act. The council claim that it's simply a way of ensuring that you've acknowledged their busking code of conduct. Maybe this is genuine, or maybe they're just harvesting our data. I mean, who isn't at this point? Once you fill out the form, you're given a reference code, which they tell you to quote if you're asked by any police or officers whilst you're in Croydon busking. The actual rules, like in most places, aren't labelled as rules. Croydon Council offer a busker's code of conduct. I'll try and simplify it because it's a little bit wordy, if I'm honest. Okay, first, where to busk. Something Croydon Council do offer, which is really cool, is this little map that outline their recommended busking spots or pitches. The code of conduct states that you must stick to these recommended pitches, just to avoid any trouble. The next part essentially says you must cease playing or turn down your volume if asked to by any officials. They recommend you introduce yourself to any nearby shops or businesses. This essentially says don't block anybody. To prevent sound clash, don't play close to fellow buskers. Be patient with other buskers and wait for the pitch to become free. Leave a pitch 30 minutes after a fellow busker's arrival so they then can perform. I do like the emphasis here on being friendly, like talking to the shops and, acknowledging your fellow buskers. That's not a bad thing to be promoting. No drums and only one amp. You have to email them if you're a band and you're planning to perform. The email is somewhere located on their website. This says vary your songs, keep the volume to a reasonable level. This here says all sounds can become annoying after a while. Whoever wrote this clearly hasn't listened to Green Day. Don't leave equipment unattended and keep backing tracks unobtrusive. If you want to sell CDs or merch, then you must have a street trading license. Quick side tip, most councils around the UK require a street trading license for you to sell your CDs or merch. A way around this is to put an asterisk next to the price of your item, and then somewhere as small as you want on your sign, put another asterisk and write suggested donation. That way you're not selling anything, you're just suggesting a donation. And lastly, this just says be respectful in a very wordy way. All very straightforward, all very standard things. Nothing different from any other council of anywhere I've busked so far. So let me show you how I got on in Croydon.
Ooh, spot number one.
Spot number one, I set up opposite the Primark on North End Road.
Got you bossing half an hour, oh how she rocks, and clips and two.
I'd been told that this spot was good, and particularly good if it starts raining because you have a shelter overhead. Typically when I'm filming these videos, I do it on a Saturday. Saturday being one of the most optimal days for busking, but I actually busked in Croydon on a Thursday.
No,
people of Croydon were so friendly. A guy even tipped me £2 before I'd even started playing. I had a lot of lovely comments, smiles, acknowledgement. I felt very welcome. I was fully happy with the way spot 1 went. Okay, that's spot number 1 done. I've done an hour and a bit, and it's gone very well, I think. I think we've made the train ticket back, and yeah, this street is really busy. For a Thursday, I guess it's summer, it's school holidays, so expected. But yeah, on to the second one. I'm gonna just go up, literally just up the high street to the next purple spot, I think, or the one after that. But yeah, I'm gonna try and stick to this main road today. But yeah, move up the other end, see how it is. Probably all the same people who have just walked past are gonna see me again, but that's all right. Woo! On to the next spot. Now, the one along on the interactive map was actually taken. I planned to go there, but upon arrival, I was greeted by a fellow busker who had a voice like Louis Armstrong. He was incredible. So after stopping and having a little listen, I decided to walk on all the way up North End Road to the furthest purple dot on the map in that little row of dots. The spot located on London Road. Okay, I came to this spot, and as you can see, there is nobody here. I figure this spot maybe is better on the weekend. I don't know. So I spent an hour or so listening to the rich, raspy, soulful goodness of my busking neighbour. And then I made the decision just to set up back in the first spot. Okay, spot 2 is just the same as spot 1. I've just come back to where I was because all the other spots are taken, or they're too close to a spot that is taken, or they're no good and there's no one there. So I'm just gonna try here again. It's been about an hour and a bit, so to be honest, it looks way busier already right now, so hopefully it's good. We'll see what happens.
Crying loud.
Now, although it had gotten busier, this time started a lot slower. I was starting to feel a little bit disheartened, as it also seemed that I was getting less smiles and acknowledgement all round.
Well, don't get lonely now.
And then a beacon of light came in the form of a £10 note donation.
Thank you so much. You tell me down because you know you're right.
This always blows my mind and fills me all the way up, full of energy. I can't express how grateful I feel when you get a note. It's just so good.
Thinking about ditching me. No time to search you all around. Cause you knew that I'd be found when I come around.
Obviously, busking isn't all about the donations, but to know that someone values what you're doing that much is just... it's heartwarming. Seeing as I bust in the spot twice, I can conclude that this spot is good. If you're in Croydon, then I highly recommend it. I can't stress enough like how good it is when you receive a note. Obviously receiving any donation is amazing. And that never ceases to amaze me, and it never ceases to give me like a burst of energy. But when you get a note, it just changes the entire game. If I hadn't have got a note during that busk, I wouldn't have done all that well. Relatively well. Relative to what I've already done. Woo! Okay, spot number 2, which was actually spot number 1 for a second time. Done. Let's eat some lunch. I'm feeling lightheaded. Hopefully we can go to a different spot for the third round. If I end up here again, then see what happens. Woo! Okay, I've stepped into a shopping centre because it's much easier to vlog in here because it's way quieter. It's really busy here in Croydon today. There is no shortage of foot traffic. So far in Croydon, summary, if I could sum it up, the people here are really responsive. Smiles, thumbs up, people have been chatting, they're like, oh, are you busking? That's so cool. I've met several other musicians. A guy gave me his number, he's a saxophone player, he's going to be playing in Brighton soon. There was another guy busking, I tried to film a bit of him, I didn't want to like poke a camera in his face. I must admit I'm a bit intimidated to get my camera and stuff out here, just because there's so many people, it's a bit freaky. This also is the first time I've filmed one of these videos where I'm at a place that's not by the sea, other than when I was filming in central London. And I'm always a bit uneasy when I'm not near the sea. I don't know why. Something inside me is like, ugh. So I'm going to eat some lunch and then I'm going to try and find at least one of these other spaces. There is one near East Croydon train station. I might check that out. So I'll see you then. So far we've made about £50, but the train fare was £12, so it's more like £40. That's okay, it's not a bad day's work. But yeah, onwards with the video. I'm gonna eat something. Spot number 3, I set up at the opposite end of North End Road.
Thank you.
During this busk, I had some great conversations with the locals. One lady told me this incredibly inspirational story about her life. And ended it on the anecdote, don't give up, keep going. Because if you keep going, you'll get there.
The road ahead splits up into no decision. What can I do now?
It was the energy I needed to push through till the end of the day.
Go now, slow down.
Whenever I'm busking, I just light up inside. It makes me the truest version of who I am. And because I get this feeling, I try to project it on everyone walking past.
Nobody knows how to play it, save it. And I'm an alien.
I imagine it like traveling through the song, going into everybody's ears. I just want everyone to feel that. It's partly why I make these YouTube videos. So it always makes me smile when a stranger comes up to me and tells me a story or gives me a comment and expresses that same emotion.
Crossroads, I'm not sure it's ready to go now, slow down.
I also got asked to join a Beatles covers band, and I also got asked if I wanted to be on a cruise ship band. So if you're looking for job opportunities, apparently Busking in Croydon can give you that.
They want about it, doesn't mean I don't doubt it sometimes. So where do we go from?
All in all, another successful busk.
I go through.
Set number 3, successful I reckon. Absolutely no tips on card. None at all day. People here are skeptical of the card reader. I think they're worried that it's a scam. So they don't tip on card here. Woo! We'll do a full review on the train. I didn't end up doing that summary speech on the train. I totally forgot to account for the fact that it was rush hour. So my train home was packed. But I ended the day with just over £75, which for a day's work isn't bad at all. Especially on a Thursday. Like almost everywhere I've been so far, I highly recommend Croydon as a place to busk. And in case you wondered, they really do enjoy some 41 covers. I found out firsthand. Thank you for watching. Like the video. If you're a busker or a musician, or you just find this kind of thing entertaining, then click subscribe. And if you are a real fan, then turn that notifications bell on. I make videos every week. They come out on Monday. And I will see you then. In the meantime, go and chase your dreams, do what makes you happy, be yourself, and I'll see you next week.